Okay. Oh, yes, we are live. Live, no, almost live. It's not exactly live, since I'm recording this in 3rd of February 2022. Probably it's not live for you. And definitely it's not, because I know that I'm not streaming this. So, okay, let's go here on the top to this kind of little arrow and click on texture. Okay, now it's better. Now we see the texture, and the texture is saved, which is... yeah, Blender. By the way, no, Blender. Don't get me wrong. Blender is great. Blender is amazing. Blender is one of the best things that happened in the 3D probably industry ever, since it's a free software capable of doing a lot of things, almost everything. But some things are a little here rough on the edges, which we don't have to. We can't complain, because we have this saying in Bulgaria: on the gifted horse, you don't look for the teeth of the gifted horse. So if they gave you a horse basically for free, you don't look at its teeth to see if it's old or young or whatever. You don't look. You just say, okay, thank you for the horse. And that's the same in this case. Thank you for the horse, we say, and we go away. So now let's go to the body, select it, Control-Shift down, and go to the sculpting mode and see what's happening. So now we have some subdivisions, we need more. Do we have more, by the way? No, we don't have. So I will subdivide one more time. And now we will try to kind of refine these areas here. By the way, you see, problematic thing is now our strength is 101, because I increased it when I was weight painting. And it stays in different things, which I don't think is necessary. Another thing, but those are very small and tiny things that when we are completely comfortable with other things and we're starting to search for these little areas that the software is not as good. But we don't have to, since this is free. This is amazing free software that you can do everything that you can do in the not so free softwares, which also are amazing. Like, for example, I was working in 3D Max for a long time, for long years, and it was fine. But it's clumsy, it's big. Only the installation file of the 3D Max is, I think, 2.5 gigabytes or something. It's enormous. ZBrush. ZBrush also is pretty big these days. It's 1 gigabyte and something. Blender, it can do what Max do, most of the things. It can do some things that Max can't do, sculpting. And also compositing, by the way, or video editing, which I don't use. But the thing is that you don't have to use everything Blender offers. You have to concentrate in one thing, especially in the beginning, and then you kind of can go to other things. But my idea is that Blender is like 200 and something megabytes, which is 10 times less than the 3D Max and 5 times less than ZBrush, for example, around that number. It's not correct completely, but the idea is that it's light, it's nice, it's free. You can download the newer version anytime, and I recommend you to do so. Most of the time, I mean, until now, most of the time, each new version presents improvement to render times in cycles, which is good. Yeah, with the same hardware you will have a little bit of less rendering times in the newer version. I'm using now 3.0, but probably you will use 3.1 or something like this, and it's completely okay. Most of the things probably will be the same, because from version 2.8 onward, which was the pivot version, by the way, 2.8 introduced this new UI, which is much more user friendly, and now Blender is much nicer to use, I may say, because I've tried it before and it was meh. And no, I mean, not the user interface kind of turned me away. The thing that turned me away 2008, when I tried it for the first time, was that it was crashing all the time. So it wasn't ready. It was just not ready for its purpose. Maybe a few years later, it was kind of fixed, and people start using it. But Now it's more and more embraced, especially after ZBrush was acquired by some company, Maxon, which I don't know much about, but probably they will kind of make ZBrush a little bit more commercial. And yeah, because they're a bigger company, and they will want to commercialize, they will want profits. Bigger companies are bad for the gamers, bigger companies are bad for the consumers of the product, because they want profit and they kind of go for the profit only, not for the options that are better for the consumer, for the profit options. And I also work in a big company, so I know how it works. Because when we release a game, for example, and I want to I kind of offer some functionality that will help the users to take the game better, to make a better experience, user experience. And they say this is not a priority, because this is only a kind of a quality of life change, but it's not gonna monetize. And you see, monetization these days is the key, especially in big companies. For example, I can kind of give my courses for free for my colleagues in the company, or for other people that cannot afford them. And it's okay for me, because I'm my own master. I'm kind of don't depend on anyone for these courses especially. But the bigger companies, they have to answer to their shareholders, and that's where things go wrong. You always have to go for the profit. The profit has to be better for this half of the year than for the previous one, and stuff like this. And it's on and on the process, which kind of makes everything bad. But whatever, we are okay. Now I think I've made a few changes here and there. Let's see how much. Okay, we can increase the body a little bit more, the subdivided, but we don't need it now. When we make the bones, when we rig it, when we pose it, maybe then we can increase it, and then we can work a little bit more on the body. But now let's work on the sweater and make this kind of a pocket. And make this kind of a pocket. No problem. Everything is okay. Okay. I'm going fast. I'm working fast. Okay. Now let me see. Those things here, let's select them. They should be longer. So I will go with the big move brush and just try to move them down. Yes. At least one of them I managed to move it down. Now this one should be shorter. One of them should be longer and the other shorter, of course, because this will look more natural. If they are the same size, it looks a little bit strange, for me at least. So I will select this guy with Alt-Q, select this guy, the sweater, and then let me think what we can do. I can do this. I can do also this. I can do whatever I want, like here, like this. By the way, this doesn't look half bad. I will leave it. Okay, and here we will make our pocket. How do we make it? We will duplicate, of course, this mesh. So Control Tab and Object Mode, and then we Shift D and right click. Now it's duplicated. We have it. No problem. It's sweater 2003. This is our, and I will name it pocket. Not in Cyrillic, pocket in English. In Latin, English. Okay, now pocket. Okay, now tab, go to this, take it to be only this visible, and select those polygons in the front that will be pocket. Probably those are those polygons. And we will Control I to select everything else, X, faces, and we delete all the faces, all the other faces. Now I will show everything else just to see what's happening, and I will go to sculpt mode, and now I will go from sculpt mode to edit mode a little bit. So first I will sculpt a little bit just to put it where it should be, around this area, around like this. It should be a bit more inflated, and I will erase the multi-res for this mesh because I don't want it. I don't need multi-res basically now. And I just want to put it in position. And then I will do some other stuff with it. So it will be connected to this on the top and on the bottom only. On the sides, of course, since it's a pocket, it has to be open so you can put your hands into it. So Tab, Control R, and I will put one and one here with Control R and double click, then one here with Control R and double click, and one here with Control R and double click, and one here with Control R and double click. You see where I'm going with this? I'm just putting some geometry, then Tab to go to again to this mode, the sculpting mode. Sometimes I forgot which mode I'm in, and symmetrize, so we can have it. I will smooth it just a tiny bit with the smooth brush, and then I will inflate probably with the inflate brush, which is 6. The smooth brush is, as you know, with Shift. Shift is the smooth brush. And G is for our grab brush, which I'm using the most. The grab brush is the best brush. The grab brush is the best brush. Basically, that's you have to know. Oh, there is no best brush, of course. But the grab brush is just, how to say it, it's irreplaceable. You cannot do, you cannot go without this grab brush. It's for me, it's one brush that you can do everything with it. If you have enough time, of course. But since you want to save time, you are using other brushes. But the grab brush is my best pal. See, now I'm using only the grab brush to just kind of put it into position. And since I want to have something like a seam, maybe at the bottom a little bit and at the top, I have to add a little bit more geometry. So Tab, Control R, and add one loop here in the bottom, and Control R and add one loop here in the top. And it's looking good. It's looking amazing. Just just amazing. Not the other things. And this pocket, by the way, when we move our hands and stuff, probably will kind of mess up a little bit, but we will fix it. No issues. Okay. By the way, I just realized that when we are in Tab, in this mode, we can Alt-Q to select the other objects and edit them in this edit mode, which I didn't know. But now we know Alt-Q is also used for this. Many people don't know that, and I bet that even some people like Blender Guru, maybe he knows that, but some people, I'm sure that there are even teachers of Blender, they don't know that. So yeah, this is a very, very nice thing to know. So in edit mode, you can change between objects, not going out of edit mode, select the object, go in edit mode again and stuff like this. Just Alt-Q and you are on the object that you want to edit. Of course, your mouse should be over this and Alt-Q. Over the pocket, Alt-Q, and we selected it. Amazing, we discovered things. So not only we are, I'm teaching you Blender, I'm discovering new things and teaching you those things at the same time, which is, I cannot say it's not amazing, because it is. It's definitely is amazing. Let's press Tab, Control Tab down and go to Sculpt Node and continue working on our pocket. Let's try a little bit to solidify the pocket, make it thick, a little bit thicker. It's maybe a little bit too thick, but I'll take it. I'll take it, no problem, it's okay. Let's press G. Yeah, sometimes my ZBrush instincts kick in, and I am trying to use my shortcuts from ZBrush, which are not exactly the same. But most of the time, I'm already used to Blender. Blender is my go-to program right now. And I even managed to do a high poly of the Uber boss for our newest game in Blender, and the game that I've shown you. And I will show you, by the way, the Uber boss, because this is one of the final videos. Probably the Uber boss will be out in the time you are watching this video. So it is. Here it is. It's a lot of polygons. It's a little bit, you know, not so good. Maybe I should disable the shadow. But this is kind of pretty detailed, and it's done entirely and only in Blender. So I may say with great kind of confidence right now that Blender can do a lot. So this mesh alone is, let me see, is 7 million polygons. Only this mesh, which is the head and the arms. 4 arms, the head and the body, of course. But yeah, this will be in the game around the end of March probably, hopefully. I don't know if they will be able to put it that fast in the game, but whatever. Okay, hopefully they will not fire me for showing you this, because it's a little bit confidential. But as I know that most of you will not be playing the game, and so probably it will not be a problem. And I didn't show it in the first videos because yeah. And also in Udemy, the first 2 or 3 videos are kind of free for watch, so everybody can see them and decide that either they want to buy this course, do they like my face without the hair. I have a little hair, by the way, here on the side, but on the top, not so much. It's not a big issue, for me at least. Some people are going and, I want hair, and they go and pay money to put hair on their heads, and yeah, of course they look younger with hair, but these are some issues that you have with yourself, and you will not be able to resolve them in this way that much. You'll have to resolve them in yourself, I mean, by yourself. It's not about the hair, it's about self-esteem. If you don't have it, you have to search for it in the newer phone, in the newer car, in the hair, or whatever, in the muscles. Yeah. But we have to find it somewhere, this self-esteem. In the brains, some people find it in the brains. Some people don't wash themselves. They stay at home, they are programming or doing something all day. I've done that too, by the way, but whatever. And they have self-esteem because they say, I'm smarter than all those guys. And it's probably true, but this is your way of having a self-esteem. Some people are going to karate classes or MMA, and they say, I can beat almost anybody. And this is their thing for the self-esteem. Everybody has it. I have it too. I'm a better 3D artist than most people in the universe. So yeah, this is my self-esteem thing. Why not? It's cool. Than most, not than anybody. There are a lot of people better than me, which is good because I have kind of peaks to go to. I have kind of where to go. I have a purpose. If I was the best, what purpose? Then I should kill myself. You know, there will be no more to go, no further thing. So it's good to be ugly after all. Yeah, this was from the song The Ugliest Weenie in Cow and Chicken cartoon, but probably not many of you will remember that. Okay, now we have spent enough time. Let's go to subdivision surface and see what will happen if we increase it to 3. Looks good. Of course, we have to go to edge data in the solidify modifier and increase this crease inner, outer, and rim. The rim we have to be careful because if we increase it too much, it will start getting this kind of awkward angles. So we will increase it until those angles are not present that much. And we have a pocket, basic, not so perfect pocket, but still pocket. I will decrease this rim, by the way. It's not very nice, this rim. I will press tab and okay, I will go out of tab. I will apply the solidify modifier so we have the thickness. Then I will press tab and let me show you again. I will go to 2, which are our edges. We'll select these edges with Shift, just Shift select them, and then Shift E and go and sharpen those edges like this. Cool, cool. And I will apply the subdivisions also when I escape. Not escape, but go out of tab, and I will apply subdivisions. Then I will add my multi-resolution modifier, unsubdivide a few times, 3 times in this case, and then we will go up. And why am I doing this? Why am I adding subdivision modifier? And then modifying some things, then apply the subdivision modifier, then unsubdivide from the multi-res. That's why, because that's what I do, because I want to just first preview and be able to change a lot of things, and then I want to have those lower subdivisions and upper subdivisions like we do now. So that's why I'm doing it. It's just a personal preference. I want to work a little bit less destructive, although the multi-res itself, it's not pretty destructive, so it's cool. I will do this. I will just, let's see, here we will add a little bit of a seam, or it seems like seam. It could be a seam, who knows. And then, since this hand will be inside this pocket, I will disable the symmetry, probably do a little bit of inflating here. I'm not sure, it's not in the concept, but I want just to make something like this. Just not this, I don't want it to be that flat. Let it be something, just something here, a little bit like this. And I'm just leaving. Let's subdivide it one more time and leave it like this. I will sharpen it with P just a bit, and then I will kind of smooth it here on the bottom. Let's press X to have this, and we have our pocket. It doesn't look perfect, but we will, I mean, when we put this hand inside, probably we will fix some things. And here on this, I don't like that symmetrical thinking. So I will erase this a little bit, and the other one will stay. And I will even sharpen it. Maybe just like this here, and this. Okay. Do we have time? No, we don't have time. So next video, most likely, we'll do our armature or bones, and it will be fine. You don't have to be afraid of rigging in Blender, because it's super easy. It's amazingly easy. I have tried it in other programs, not easy at all. Here in Blender, it's just a piece of cake. They made it just so easy, just basic rigging. It's amazing. So we have to do it. I have to show it to you. Although we can pose this character in other ways, but I think this is simple enough. And the rig itself, to make it from scratch, just from one bone, it's super easy, super fast, and it takes you around 10 minutes, maybe even less, I'm not sure. So super fast rigging, and then the skinning, the basic attachment to the mesh, to the rig, to the bones, is just like this. And why do we make the rig and the skinning and everything? Because to move these high poly meshes, or even if they are not even that high poly, to move them around, it's a little bit difficult. We have to select certain things, then move them, then mask and select and stuff. It will be very, very painful process. If we rig it, we'll be able to take the bone, which is this bone, for example, just one bone here, and just move it, and it will move the whole hand from the elbow, and we'll move the hand with the clothes on top and everything, if they're attached to the rig, and we will attach them to the rig basically, so they will be attached. Good for us. But now I will see you in the next video, where we will do probably this. We'll see.